Well, listen, boys, here's to a good day, good reunion.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Cheers. I think it's important today. Me as head coach, Kev, ex-Halton as a first team captain here, and Derek now chairman of rugby. It's great to get the boys back and get the lads together, and joined today by Baz, our old club coach, Vaughan, our player coach, and Andy, who's played in many positions, many teams, very supportive role. Very good on the social side, Anne. Looking very dapper with your new haircut today.
Thank you.
And I'm just proud to be head coach here at the Widnes and be able to invite you guys down to share some old memories.
We appreciate it. It's been a great day.
It's good. It's the Widnes 60th year, but it's important that you don't forget where we come from and the grounding that we all had. And there was a load of lads here today from the ICI. Shame a few more couldn't make it, but it is what it is.
A few lads who played there as well.
Yeah. And we're proud that we've been able to come up to the Widnes and influence, not just now, but when we came up from Halton. And it's a shame Halton folded. We do regret it. It's not ideal. But there's a lot of lads who also come up here, and there was a lot of time put in over the years by the boys in the backroom staff. I mean, Tommy Rinner's grandson plays here. Tom's up here most weeks. You got George up here. You got Steve Martin, Tony Pybus, Alex McComb. Yeah. And it's good to see the faces. Stu Parker, Derek Parker.
It is fantastic.
I think it's important to keep rugby union going full stop in the town.
Right.
I think rugby's dying a death at amateur level, at league especially, and to some extent union if you look across the board. And it's great to see the Widnes keep on flag flying. Like yourself and Leddy and them and the lads turning out. Massive, mate.
What's been interesting, I think, today is to see some of the young lads from Halton who were kids at Halton. And to see what they are now.
Well, we've got one side here.
Let's say Leddy.
We were only talking before about when you first came up to Halton, there's this little tiny kid. And now we've got this huge beast of a man. And I just think it's fabulous.
It's a great example of what you can gain from playing amateur sport, whether it be football or rugby. It's a good example of what you can gain from it. The mates that you meet, the people that you meet, the contact or being part of something is massive, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's 30 or 40 blokes up here tonight who have all played at Halton at various levels. It doesn't matter what level you play at. You're playing at a great level. Andy's played. Derek, we've all played together. It's important to be a part.
He's a better lines when he was probably.
Well, yeah, but it's a great thing to do as a young person to be part of a team.
Oh, definitely.
And the problem, it's unfortunate that it may or may not continue in the town or whatever, but it is fantastic that the Widnes are keeping it going.
We had a conversation the other week and we were saying when Halton folded, it wasn't so much just the rugby, it was being part of the team, being part of something. And that's what pained me, and I felt more than missing the rugby was being part of a team, part of a club.
I mean, one of the big things I've seen here in the Widnes is it's a family club. Yeah. Not alone. You're right in what you're saying about being part of something, but your family come up here, the whole family, and they look around as kids.
The lad has never seen him here before.
so that's a massive step because future generations are going to come into this club.
To be honest, Barry,
perfect.
For all, he is a really good club captain.
Yeah.
But he'd be nothing without Sarah. Sarah's here every week. She supports him. She works behind the bar for the players.
You can edit that out.
So much stuff.
Screams at the opposition.
She does, but without Sarah, he wouldn't be where he is.
She does back me everything she does. So
it's really good to see, like you say, somebody who's so young at the ICI.
Yeah, it is.
That's why I've stayed there as long as I have, though, because that family environment, it's just that's why I've stayed there.
It's massive for me. It's massive for the club. I used to love it.
But the other side of it is, if you're going to play rugby at any level, or especially the level you're playing, it's a lot of time and effort.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of time training. It's a lot of time to go to meetings. It's a lot of time. Whether it be Andy, whether it be you, whether you're a player or a coach, you've got to commit half your life to that.
Sacrificing.
And that is hard enough. But if you've got your family on your side.
They definitely back me up.
I
wouldn't do half of it, so it's good.
So getting on to the ICI, Vaughan, it must be, is it you or Derek, the longest standing player that sat here?
Me.
What year did you start?
Derek by a long way.
Just after the Romans built Hadrian's Wall.
1976 I started playing.
Derek started playing just before.
And then It was just after they'd become Halton, because at the ICI changed in 1973, I think it was.
Yeah, before I was born.
When there was a breakaway group.
Ridiculous.
Was that 71 when they went to Birchfield?
No, don't mention Birchfield here.
No, spit on it.
They brought the split,
I think we're just working that out.
and they changed from the ICI to Halton.
Correct.
And I think one of the reasons Halton didn't continue is it didn't have as much of a family orientation as what we've got here.
Yeah.
Like you just said there, Barry,
It's
with
massively
Kevin and the
important.
kids and everything coming up. There wasn't so many older generation either.
I think it was a perfect storm. It wasn't any one thing.
Yeah, there was a number of
there was a
things, wasn't
multitude
there?
of things that
No,
happened.
but let's not
Times
dwell on the
changed
bad.
and-
The
No,
negative of Halton
there's
splitting,
so
because
much good
many
stuff.
years ago Halton was based on the same principles as the Widnes is now.
Yeah, of course
There's
it was.
families, there
It was a social
it was a massive social environment, and it was a fantastic club to be
But
part of.
originally, when I
The
went
problem
there,
is it wasn't our own
it was
club.
all ICI
There
workers.
was tennis, football, cricket, there was a multitude of sports, but it was still a fantastic club, like Lenny will tell you, to be part of.
Yeah.
And that's important, being part of something. But for whatever reasons Halton went by the wayside, like you said, there's a multitude of reasons. That's not important. The important part is that it was there when we were there,
Yeah.
and when generations before and
But
after.
the biggest thing
Same as
for
the
all,
Widnes now.
the biggest thing for all is having little kiddies coming here from the playing rugby, whether it's whatever they do, football, whatever. Bring them into the club with the family, and they progress up, and they find out whether they want to play football, whether they want to play rugby, and they just grow and grow and grow, and that's exactly what our kids have done, my kids have done, and that's the way to go. And because you've got that here at Widnes, it's massively important.
Yeah.
There's not many other clubs in the town, rugby league or whatever, football, have got that.
Without doubt, Halton was one of the best years of my life.
Absolutely.
I was part of a family. It was
Absolutely.
You know,
And the same as hopefully they'll be for these lads, for years. to
Well,
come.
you've got the best of both worlds,
It's
haven't you?
coming through.
Yeah.
You've got the best of both worlds. You've seen how it was at Halton. You see how it is at the Wids. Obviously, this is more a big oomph for it, but it's right the way through. It's brilliant.
I think the beauty of the Rugby
it's
Union Club,
fantastic.
it doesn't matter what size, shape you are, your ability. I was like the worst rugby player in the world.
I know.
But
Keep that in.
but I still felt like part of the family. I was part of a team. I was part of something. Now, I think with a lot of sports, if you're not good enough, you're by the wayside.
Good idea.
Rugby union's different.
Yeah,
Even if you're not the best player in the world, you're still part of the team. You're part of the family, and it's huge. It's
So, like I say,
huge.
I played rugby league a lot when I was younger, and then I went to Halton. Straight away, you feel part of it.
Yeah,
It's the
you're
same,
welcomed
You
in.
come here, people just welcome you. That's what's good about rugby union.
The crack rounds
Yeah.
of the world. You walk in, he doesn't know you from Adam,
There's
but
no,
you're like,
there's no like pushing you. You've come from rugby league, young kid, whatever. You just get welcomed,
Yeah.
no matter what your ability is.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what's
open
good about
arms, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Open arms all the time.
I mean, I got asked many a time by the Wids, Paul Newall, Tank minded me to come up, but I'm proud of what I did. I stayed at Halton with the boys, with my mates, grew all with them, and then moved in my early 30s. But it was, don't regret one moment staying at the ICI, and we had some great memories. Paul, give us some memories of your best games.
Your best games?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
Games
have
where
many
you
good
didn't
games.
games where you didn't get yellow carded. And
Well, I was-
coach trips,
I
tours.
was famous for being offside quite a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well, that was a listening praise to you.
I
That.
was very eager as a back row to get to
nail the scrum half.
nail whoever, but I was never quick enough
Bob,
or clever enough.
You were alright when you taped your ears back. You
I
were
would take my ears back. I felt like it was better, but it didn't work. No.
Bob, what about the game at Ellesmere Port when we played? And they had we had the two oldest wingers in the world.
That's me and you.
Me and you playing on the wing
Yeah,
when
on
we
the
were
wing,
struggling
yeah.
for numbers.
Yeah.
I'm sure
In the latter days, we were struggling for
Never
numbers.
one of my,
One was on one wing, that was on the
I
other.
tell you what,
That's
talk
what
about
it was.
memories now. Let me talk about memories. I was fortunate enough to play probably years in Derek's era. Like you said, before then he was born, practically. And but when I played with Joe Ireland, and he's dead now, God rest his soul, we were talking about him earlier on. And in rugby, in my day, there was no lifting in lineouts, which is probably hard to believe now when you look at it. And the lineouts were messy, to say the least. But
Unless you were Dave Howard.
But
Yeah.
well, exactly. The second rows had to be 9 foot tall, because you just couldn't win the ball. It was chaos. But it was great for a back row player because it was true and spoiled. So you knew every single line out, it was going to get tapped or bounced off someone's head or whatever, and you were there and you were on the ball. So it was great fun. As a back rower in the early 80s, late 70s, it was great fun. When it got into leagues in this lifting business, you had to be quick, clever, and all them things, and that's when I went down the path. The throw and spoil, as Joe Allen used to say, was great. You know, if you look at some of the videos of old rugby clips from the toes in, you know, Willie John McBride and all that, and the 99 call and all that, the lineouts were messy as hell.
Oh, all the way.
There was nothing structured about the game there. If you look at the greatest strider barbars, the head tackles and the mauls, and we were talking as well earlier about mauls. In my day, Andy, when I first went up to the SCI, mauls was the only thing you got involved. Derek Parker, for instance, and Glenn Dyer were experts at mauling because that's all teams did. They didn't just commit 2 players to a ruck. It was 10 players from either side, all grappling like medicine ball type rugby.
Trying to steal the ball.
Trying to steal the ball. And Derek used to tape all the things so you knew whose hand it was. And that's all it was. It wasn't quick ball, was it?
No,
there was no, there was no quick book ball. It was more. So in other words, you got tackled, stood up.
See, my memories of you, Val, was some little bloke who used to follow me around the field, and you scored about 19 tries, wasn't you? And then you buy me a pint, and I never realised till it got to the end of the season when you went, how many tries you scored?
I must say this off the back of Andy's skill. I just like hunted behind him because I knew.
I just thought you liked me. And you
well, I do like you, yeah.
So you've been a goal hanger, really.
Yeah, definitely a goal hanger.
Definitely, yeah.
Zero skills.
Well, you guys, you coached the Albert, didn't you, in rugby league, and then you come across to a Union.
Yeah, we were just talking about that then, about how I ended up here, and it was good. I didn't know what the hell was going on when I first started, and probably still don't, but it was good to see a massive change from, if you like, with all respect, like a brawling type of rugby to a disciplined side that went from, I mean,
and that must have been tough because you remember when you come in, we had young Mickey, young Gary, Steve Mellor, Curve,
all young
the other 2 Curves, Graham Dunn. There was 3 lads there, weren't there, that needed
when they came up and the starter, like I said to Vaughan, I said, what the hell's going on here? I didn't really know. But then when it came, we got discipline and things started to work. And I remember I've just been talking to Crack Valley downstairs and saying, we got beat by Congleton 105-0 just before I came. And then when we took the turnaround, because of your discipline and me giving that, and the youngsters and God knows what, we beat them 26-0 on the turnaround, and that was for me was massive. But I'm renowned for odd sayings, I'm told, and I always remember saying to Chris Bibby, God rest it, well, he's not dead. It's not dead, is it? But on the rugby field I was talking about God rest his soul because he's crap. But I said to him, he was stood there. He thought he was a centre, and he wasn't. He was best off as a doorman than he was a rugby player. But hey ho. But I said to him one day, for Christ's sake, baby, you're having a woodbine or what? Now, a bit later on, the younger lads, as Andy's mentioned, they've said to me, Barry, what's a woodbine? And I had to explain to him what a woodbine was, and it was just like showing me how old he was. No, it's great. We've still got on record the fastest try ever scored. He kicked the ball off. Mickey Kelly flew down the flank, got the ball, scored a try. Referee disallowed it and said he was offside. I said, not a chance, you didn't see. We'll do it again. So we done it again, bang, he scored a try. And that's pretty much Holland.
Yeah. I remember.
I've got a lot of fun memories.
I remember when we played away at Sefton and Gary Kelly scored in the corner. I've never seen you jump away in all my life. A long ball in the corner, and we won the game by 2, didn't we?
Yeah. Lots of good memories. Forget the
few challenging lads, Barry.
Well, the one thing that worries me and it still traumatised me to this day is Watty.
But at some point this was going to come up.
It has to come up.
It's the white elephant.
If I hear somebody shout water loud, I go into a meltdown and shake, like, you know. I don't know what's going on. Watty, oh my God. I'd say no more. Just watching, that's it.
But didn't you always love that West Warrington call?
Oh,
It
man.
was, but it was a win-win situation either. We scored a try.
Oh, he got
Or was he got
smacked.
flatted? It was a win-win situation.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it's good.
But Derek and Vaughan and what's his name? Jeff Smith. Was it?
Yeah.
Jeff Smith gave me a call and he said, "How do you fancy coming up to Halton?" And I thought, well, I've never done anything with rugby union before. I've always been rugby league and blah, blah, blah. So I talked with Derek and Vaughan in the bar, and that sort of done it. I said, "I'll come up," done it, and I loved it. And
Good years.
I
Good years.
loved it.
And we got your Ben involved as well, didn't
We
we?
did, yeah, he come and had a few games, and
My little nephew.
he got sent off for beating someone half to death, and he said
He was,
Then he got his nose broke in the second game, which was always fun.
But
his nose, his
the one memory I've got of your Ben, and it sticks out, he was a great goal kicker, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Not.
the Grubunter kid. Right, Ben, you take the goal. Oh my
But
God.
going back to Halton and Wades and everything, I mean, just going back to it, I think with Birchfield, Halton, Widnes have all done great for encouraging kids to play sport at that age. We had 4 teams, the Wids had 4, but my age,
Wids had
maybe
7.
not. Wids had 7. It's unfortunate maybe there's not as many people playing it, but I think days like today,
Still good for the time.
it encourages you to think that, you know what, if you can pass a little bit on to kids and say, this is what you're missing, mate, this is what you could have been part of, it could come back, I reckon. You know, it could make a little bit of a comeback, and maybe the more kids and the more people get involved in rugby, the better. It's my opinion.
Well,
Because I think they're missing out so much.
in any sport, well,
Yeah,
it's not just
any
rugby.
football,
You've got
though,
to, I mean, the facilities we've got here, it's a rugby club,
I think,
but there's a facility for bringing kids to do other sports, maybe.
yeah.
It's here, it's massive.
I think the one thing we've got
Get 'em off
with
the
rugby
couch.
is, because it is such a physical, demanding game, and you do to some extent put your neck on the line, that camaraderie is not the same in football and cricket and whatever. I don't think you get the same with
But do you remember when you scored top of the town and you'd have your tie up, and it was that?
Oh,
I'm sure.
I'll go out as the Widnes like
And
that.
you felt-
Do you remember when we went to Newcastle?
Oh, yeah.
We went to Newcastle on the fortune course, and it was, I was buzzing on that plane.
Oh,
It was
great.
unbelievable. But we went out into a bar at the night time, didn't we? And we had white shirt, Halton tie on, and people were coming up. Oh, what's this?
That goes
What's
back.
the-
That
Fabulous.
goes back to what I said earlier. It being part of a club, being part of something, and that's whether this is why I don't think retiring's a good thing, because
He's laughing there because we're just like rambling on.
yeah. I just don't think retiring or when you get retired from rugby, you miss it. When you retire from work, you miss it. You want to do something else, you want to do something, but you can't replace it. So be part of it while you're still young and you've got the chance, because believe me, you're missing out so much.
Yeah.
That's I'm very, very fortunate to have met the likes of you, Andy, and you, Leddy, and you, all of you lads. You're a lot
What
younger.
about me?
Yes, I've just pointed it out. But I don't.
You're not with the bar yet,
A lot of the circle of my friends who I'm very close to, who I trust my life with, are from the rugby field or from a club that have been playing rugby. And that is not unique to me. That is what rugby
It's
union
unique,
is.
because that's followed on from ICI, shutting, a few of us gone the Widnes.
Correct.
Now every year we go on the golf tour.
Yeah.
And there's 8 or 9, 10 of us. We
It's
go
massive.
golfing every
It's
year.
family.
It's massive. It's massive.
Well, it's like today, isn't it?
That bond that we've got as friends doesn't matter. It's come from rugby.
People
No
turn
matter
up.
what way, no matter how you look at
That's
it.
the
not
same
see
as
you
rugby,
for
will you?
Yeah, we've got the darts.
Everything that
Yeah.
and that is massive.
Yeah.
As far as part of your life, it's your massive part of your life, isn't it? It's a massive part of all our life, and it will be a massive part of your life as you get to older age. Still is now,
It
isn't
is
it?
now.
And I think that if kids don't get involved in it, and whether they play rugby or not, but I think they could be part of something apart from the phone or the computer.
He's just got to get the kids here and make it fun.
That's
Yeah.
never
It's got
going
to be
replace.
fun right from the
That's
start.
never going to
yeah.
replace what we had.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
But then again, if they don't know any different, shame in it.
Yeah.
Right, listen, we've all run out of here. I think
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
James Barnes, Chapel, where'd you start? I mean, when I first went up to the ICI, Ronnie was, he did loads with the Colts, he was great. And I remember my first 2 games, he played me at second row, and I remember the conversation to Ronnie, which was along the lines of, you ever play me there again, Ronnie, and I'm never turning up again. And that's how much he knew about rugby playing in the second row, because I was hopeless.
Ronnie was my first captain when he went up there, fourth team.
And mine.
Again, he was so welcoming. I didn't know anybody at that club at all when I went up there. I went totally cold.
With me too.
And Ronnie invited me, and you know, we take the mickey in that, but for all Ronnie's faults, was he
a manager at the ACI?
He was, yeah.
Because he introduced to me the red, amber, green strategy. And
I'm the gambler.
And I remember once he got a flip chart up, and all he did on the sideline is amber gambler. And he started on one of his team talks, and he flipped the side over, and I think the quote was something on the lines of, "When they've got the ball, or when we've got the ball, they can't score."
That's it.
Somebody wrote underneath, and neither can we.
That was one of his favourites.
Well, that's what he thought. Yeah.
I remember we were playing whoever, and Paul Swain pulled his car up, and he was in a bit of a mess. So I said, "Get a shower, and I'll put some of this stuff on your car." So he gets this new cream that come up, and it's screaming up this screen. So I massaged his car. He put his socks on and off he went, and there was this scabby old towel hanging up. And I just wiped my hands on it like that to get the excess cream off. Then got a shower, whatever. Anyway, a bit later on, I've got my tie suit on. Oh, then get the ambassador for the club. He comes to me, he says, "Baz," he said, "Can you come and have a look at my bollocks?" I said, "What?" I said, "You don't get asked that often, do you?" And I said, "No." He said, "My bollocks are on fire." I took a look, and he said, "I don't know what I've done." And the penny dropped, and I thought, "Which was your towel?" He said, "I always put it on the end peg." I said, "Got the scabby one?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You'd better go and get a shower and wash your bollocks." Hot cream on. And he was on fire. He was in agony with his nuts.
There was. Going back to my opinion of Ronnie Chappell,
I
don't think I've ever met anybody as enthusiastic and as committed to either the game or the club or a situation where he would turn up on a Sunday morning. We had the cult sides, and met.
I remember him doing 3 journeys.
I made 10 trips to Liverpool and back with kids running them back and two, and you know, whether he had better things to do on a Sunday morning, I don't know, but you can't fault his enthusiasm for. So he's either an old ambassador of what, I don't know whether people do that now, whether people commit that much, but you can't fault him on that level. You know, he was a star, and you know, and because of his eccentricity, he was eccentric, wasn't he?
He was.
He got a lot of stick, but he was eccentric because he was fully committed to being part of that club, and really, Halton were lucky to have him, you know. And I actually don't know if he's still alive. I'm not.
Well,
he is. Is he still alive? I don't know.
He is alive, mate, but he just lives a little bit outside the Widnes.
Does he? Right. I don't know. I've not seen him for it must be 20 years. Is he still alive?
And for the record, Bibbsy's still alive.
Not on a rugby pitch, but one thing I want to do, and I want to say to you, is I'm really proud of you. You're amazing. You've done from Halton to come up here and do what you do now. Fantastic.
Appreciate that. Cheers.
Good.